my friends. If this is your first time here, then welcome. This spread for this particular reading has been developed over years to really find a combination that really works. And also, just to let you know, this is not that your ex is coming back and just like I'm throwing this on you. No, this is for the people who actually are still having a connection, or maybe they're anticipating kind of like that something still is ongoing. They still want something to happen with their ex, such as like maybe hoping for a reunion. If you're not wanting your ex, then please, this is not a reading for you. Check my monthlies instead. So in a moment, I'm going to explain the cards, but at the same time, I'm going to provide a timestamp for those people who already know it. If you're the first time here, please go to the explanation. But before I start this, yay, there's like something that you waited for entire year, my 2019 annual Taroscopes. It's time to pre-order. So you can go www.cattarot.ca/annual, and that's going to get you to the form. The moment when I make the first one, this price of $19.99 for individual sign or $39.99 for all signs is going to move to $29.99 for one and $59.99 for all. So this is like your opportunity to really grab a good deal. If you remember the last year, then they were like about hour and a half to 2 hours long. It was covering all kind of like segments and career and love and family and so on and so forth. In the description of this video, you are going to be able to see the 2018. So just like scroll down below and check it. Okay, so the next is to kind of like jump into this explanation, and for my regulars, here is a timestamp, and just jump right straight to the reading. Okay guys, as you're going to see, I don't know if you can see the difference in colors. Look at how old is this deck, about 25 years old. And the same cards exist in this deck as well. So I am choosing these 7 cards because they're going to be able to give me that combination, that magic key, and the answer that you really want. So let's start. Like, first card that I have taken over here is the Magician. And the Magician is really going to tell me about what is going on for your relationship. If this is really a go, if your relationship can actually fly. It's also going to tell me if your relationship was ever a starter. So both positive and negative is going to give us some answers. The next one is going to be the Temperance reversed. And usually the Temperance upright talks about stars are aligning and everything is like kind of like working together. When it is reversed, it tells me what is really not gluing and what kind of like things you still really need to pay attention and even work on in a relationship. So it's kind of like a really important combination of the two. Then we are going to have the Queen of Wands and also Knight of Wands. With these two cards, they are going to be significators for you and your mate, right? So they are interchangeable. You have to kind of like decide which one are you, and you're going to know it as when I start reading which one applies. This is the energy in between the two of you, and it's going to tell me if there is any communication and what's going on. Is there any manipulation? Is there any approach? And so on and so forth. Kind of like really important as well. Then we have Karma card. Many people disregard, karma, who cares? Well, let me ask you this. If you're now looking back in the past and you think about your relationships, isn't this like, a point that you think, I should have skipped this one? You see, this is really what is telling you about it. Maybe you really go, I want it. But karma is telling you, maybe, sweetie, you shouldn't be going in that direction. So that category is very important, because if you're not in sync with karma, everything will be breaking and things will not be coming your way, right? And then lastly, we have Four of Wands, and Four of Wands is kind of like going to tell me where is like this whole relationship going on and what can you do. So let's start with the reading itself. Hello Cancer, welcome to your end of October, November. Is your ex coming back reading? Make sure that you check your ascendant and you check your moon sign at the very least. In the description you can find a link that's below and how to kind of like get there and find this out if you don't know it already. Nothing beats the private reading, that's for sure. And if you're watching for somebody else, in addition to that sun sign, moon sign, ascendant, check their Mars sign. That's a tip that's always good to remember. So let's see Cancer. Wow, great opening. Emperor and the Justice. So you're trying to stabilize yourself in a situation, and it could be a legal matter, it could be divorce, it could be that you're like hoping that certain things will kind of like resolve by somebody else inserting themselves in a situation. It could be like you're very dominated by the events, but it's like definitely telling me that the situation is bringing control and maturity and stability in a life, because it looks like there have been quite a few things that have been kind of like messed up all along. Queen of Pentacles, Karma card, and this is Karma card, so we have two. Have four official and fifth one sort of like floater karma cards. So as you can see, lots of cards in a deck, and already two of them are there. So if you're wondering about this relationship, I have to put you immediately at peace. You definitely want this person. It could be that for some of you it's a husband. It's somebody who is like so serious, maybe a live-in common law relationship kind of a thing, and both of you are not getting your needs met. Both of you are kind of like in some kind of like state on flux, and one party looks like wants kind of like there is like a money issue. Maybe you're not agreeing about child payments, maybe you're not agreeing because I'm seeing a trouble, I'm seeing argumentation, arguments, I'm seeing that one party wants and another party feels like, oh, this is too much, I cannot do it, and are you nuts, kind of a thing. But the Wheel of Fortune is like one of those messages, like when everything can be negative, and it's saying, this is exactly as it is supposed to be. This is exactly what is supposed to be happening at this time. You know, when the Justice reverses, it means that you're not getting your way, that you need to work on this, that you need to work on this kind of like balance. You know, sometimes, well, not sometimes, most of us think we are so smart, we can just kind of like get away with anything. The truth is that we really don't know really how we position. You kind of like are able to detect people who are possibly stupider than you or less educated, but sometimes people make that mistake and thinking about smarter people that they are like that. And you know, they did studies on that, and stupid people basically don't understand they're stupid. And sometimes like we do things in life that is like damaging to ourselves. So we're going to see, look at this, you have the karma reversed. So this is the third one out of 4. So you tell me, we still have about 65 cards in here, and you got them pretty much all. Judgment reversed is talking about, just like as I told you, you have the right to choose. And when the Justice reverses, it says just like sit, you have to sit through the storm, you have to hide from the storm, but do not engage, because it's not going to end well for you. And by actually not engaging and not provoking karma, not provoking destiny, you're actually moving in the next phase, and you're not going to go through, keep repeating the same old and expecting different results, right? But Judgment is telling me that somebody keeps choosing the wrong path. You know, when things need to be cleared, when things need to kind of like be addressed, it almost like looks like, oh come on, like I mean, we cannot keep going forward if there are like issues, if there are lies, if we really don't address the situation the way it should be. Page of Pentacles shows a promise. It shows a promise that maybe at least some things can be addressed. It's kind of like taking a step back from what it was, but that again goes back to this kind of like understanding and feeling of this kind of like inner maturity. We have 10 of Wands, and Nine of Pentacles. Well, Ten of Wands is like talking about burdens, and it's talking about a situation that is becoming hard, and it's kind of like hard to tolerate that. It's kind of like hard to know where it's going and hard to know what to expect from them. This can actually indicate secrets. It's somebody kind of like putting wool over your head. And one person is really putting a big effort. Another person is kind of like maybe not even aware that this first person is doing it, or maybe even wondering, why in the world are you doing that? You see, the Nine of Pentacles is really talking, and I really love this card, because this card is like the most read card by the single people. Oh, I know, she's single, she's like not doing anything. But this is the card that is a precursor to basically cards that would indicate that ever after. Because if you're not happy by yourself, with yourself, then how can you be happy with somebody else? You need to kind of like know that you are inviting somebody to be interdependent with you for the future growth. We are past that, oh, she cooks and he kind of like chops wood stage a long time ago. So this is saying like you need to enjoy who you are. It doesn't matter where you are in life. If you have like, I mean, just a simple kind of like dime, or, you know, I don't know what you call it, guys, in different countries they call it 10 cents a dime here in Canada, and a dollar we call it loonie. And I bet, unless you're Canadian, you will not know why, and just see if anybody can guess that. Now, this is again telling me that this issue went as far as it could, and it needs to be resolved. But it takes two to tango. One person can't resolve without the input of another person. I'm wondering if there is, I mean, this is a card that talks about rejection, and this is kind of interesting because like it's everything is coming here. This is really, the other person is like really upset, another person has all kinds of like issues, and they're doing lots of promises, but they're like failing them, and almost like looks like some either revenge or that they're lashing out because they feel rejected. But I see some of you Cancers moving forward. The Lover's card really should be called a choice, because it's not so much about love. It is sometimes the choices we make that kind of like makes us go where we need to go. You see, in this particular card, it can be Adam and Eve, right? But this is really the Fool from Tarot. The Fool is coming to this, basically this angel, and like each card in the major arcana is like a big life lesson. So the life lesson here is about love, and I think that's why it was named Lovers. But the love also has its kind of like boundaries, and see, he has this kind of like tree of like, I mean, they have a tree of knowledge and tree of life, and basically he's wondering, well, this woman is like so beautiful. I mean, I'm open and transparent. Look at, like, they're holding palms like this, and that's the ultimate trust toward each other. They're almost like blessed by this angel. But this is also talking about angels saying, look, you know what, this is a lesson you need to learn, but there is like so much more on your path to enlightenment. And do you really want to stay here, or do you want to move? You see, this mountain is there for a reason. It is kind of like something unknown and something that's challenged, something that needs to be conquered. So it sounds to me, guys, that maybe you are in that mood, that you're kind of like understanding that everything in life is about choices, and you maybe are tired of temper tantrums. You're tired of, you know, misunderstandings. It does look like lots of misunderstandings. This card, though, sometimes talks about the third party, and I'm wondering who is basically having the third party here, because so far I am not having an indication, but it can be a conversation kind of a thing, and this combined could be about the secrets about something, because the King of Wands can actually be a married man who forgets to tell that he's married, and he tells you when you're so completely emotionally engaged, you know, and because they're married, they're sending you that really comfort feeling, right? And you think this is for you, but the truth is this is just like their, you know, modus operandi. They are like that way, and it was completely misinterpreted, right? So let me see the karma. 5 of Wands reversed and King of Swords. So King of Swords can represent a judge and can be a very, very bad judge, to be honest, and complete conflict. This person is creating so many problems. I really don't think there is like sort of like an easy solution that can be addressed in this particular situation. Almost like it takes forever to even agree on the smallest little thing. They would never admit anything. In fact, it feels like whenever you say, no, 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 it's you, it's just continuously kind of like just pushing it back in your face. And it's exhausting, and it kind of like ending up feeling, you know, slighted over here. It looks like a very tricky situation to be in. It could be lots of jealousy. It looks like somebody here is being very provoked. There is like a need to really focus in which kind of like direction person needs to go. Where do I want to go? What do you want to get out of it? And if ingredients are not there, you just cannot bake it, right? If you just don't have everything that is needed. And if you just have basics and you don't have that extra add-ons, you need to ask yourself, is it worth it? The Moon card in this category would tell me that there are like lots of hidden issues. I keep getting this hiding things, and it's like simply telling you need to kind of like grind your teeth and just keep going through that, because there is a much bigger message in this. Like all these karma cards that came right out of the gate, you guys are really kind of like to see the light. And look at this, the sunshine. I just can't believe it. I just like said, see the light. Can you see it? And look at the sunshine is just like started to come through it. So yay. And that's kind of like very very important. Look at that, you have both Lovers and the Devil. It's kind of like hard dealing with this person, because you're also very attracted to this person, and also there were things that you have been very intrigued about him or her. And the truth is that you always, when you find yourself in this kind of like teeter-totter situation, should I not, I do love him, no I don't, and she's so great, but then she doesn't like my parents, she doesn't like this and that. The Devil is very controlling situation. It's the dark side of love, if you wish, right? So he did go toward that mountain, and then in this particular case, as you can see, it's almost the same scenario. Look at that. Instead of the angel, we see the devil. And what is the devil? It's nothing but a fallen angel. And you know, it's kind of like talking about, you guys get to be my marionettes. You guys will dance what I want to dance. Maybe to some extent you want this person who is going to behave the way you want. Isn't that always the concept that most of us have? Like, you have to come back. I want you, but you have to behave this way, right? No. Not going to be that way. This also can talk about exes that might be coming back in your life. So because this is your ex coming back, you know that I don't give yes or no answers, because there's so many different things you need to do. But here it does look like that there is like lots of controlling energy. There's like somebody who just like, who kind of like is so self-absorbed, that kind of like wants to do whatever they want to do, because you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't with this person. And almost looks like they have I don't want to say bipolar, but they have like two different kind of like faces. They have one that is like nice, and that's the one that you really like, and that one is actually almost like a minority, and you kind of like live for it. They also have this kind of like passion. It looks like it was lots of drama in the situation, right? So look at this, like you have the 2 knights and you have 2 kings. So I'm wondering, especially if you're a man listening to this reading, if maybe you were dealing with a woman who is maybe very monetary, money oriented, borderline gold digger, if not kind of like dealing with somebody on a legal base, trying to divide the properties, and you know, every party is doing to another party wherever they can to be the winner and to kind of like push down the other party. Or you're not seeing, or like as I'm saying, like it could be that there are other men that are wooing for, or females, I guess, wooing for this person's attention. And I think this person is in perpetual chase for something new, something fresh, right? You also have to understand this person is not really very interesting, so you have to figure out those answers in yourself, because that's what you'll be dealing with as well. And it's kind of like funny, the moment when you decide, I don't know about that, maybe we should just be friends. Whenever you kind of like, this is totally the child psychology over here with this person, when you decide, you know what, it's just like too hard, just like, ugh, I give up, then they want to come back. You need to ask yourself if you want it, if you are capable of doing that, because as I said, you see one aspect, and I can see good aspects in this person, but they're like also combative. They want their way, and they're very selfish. They know the right from wrong, but they're going to choose wrong and going to look you in the eye and lie. So you need to ask yourself if you're capable of continuing like this. And when justice reverses, when things are not going in your favor, just remember this reading and just keep saying to yourself, just, you know, do nothing. This is the lesson that you need to feel how it feels. So my dear Cancer, check your ascendant, check your moon sign, get your private reading at cattarot.ca, and please share and like and subscribe. So there's this button here. Don't forget also that every Saturday at 11 EST I actually have live, and each time somebody's going to win entry level kind of like 15-minute question, and there's like something that you can actually if you're present, win. So it is kind of like really good chance to do that. It's about 50 to 100 people, so it's much better than winning a lottery, that's for sure. So okay guys, I would love to see your comments. I would like to hear your comments. I would like to know if you know what loonie means and what kind of like dollar value that is in Canada. And without Google, I don't take Google, I will know if you cheated. Okay, until the next time guys, make sure you share, like and subscribe. I love you.